नमस्ते बिटिया, सदा खुश रहो बिटिया। I am Dr. Alka Jain, Associate Professor in the Department of Community Medicine, Faculty of Homeopathic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University. In today's lectures, I am going to tell about concept of disease. Now, what is the concept of disease? A condition in which body function is impaired, departure from a state of health, and alteration of the human body, interrupting the performance of the vital functions. So this is the definition given by Webster in dictionary. Oxford English Dictionary, the condition of the body of some part of organ of body in which its functions are disrupted or dearranged. Ecologically, concept of disease can be defined as a maladjustment of human organisms to the environment, and the simplest definition may be it is opposite to health. So here, various definition has been given about the disease, but WHO has uh, defined health but not disease. Why it is so? Because there is so many reasons for this, and there may be a disease because disease has got a spectrum varying from subclinical state to severe illness. The another reason is in some disease their onset may be sudden, but in some disease their may onset is insidious. The diseased persons may be apparently healthy, but not apparently healthy, but may be spreading to others. And the same pathogens may cause more than one disease, like in streptococci food poisoning. The same disease may be caused by more than one organisms, like in diarrhea. The course of the disease may be short or prolonged, may be acute or chronic, and it is difficult to demarcate between normal and abnormal state, as in hypertension, diabetes, mental illness, etc. The final outcome of the disease is variable. This is either recovery, disability, or death. So these are the reasons WHO has not given the definition of disease, but WHO has given definition of health. Now in this pictures you can see difference between health and illness. Here it is increasing level of wellness. What happens when there is increasing level of illness and it comes to the point where optimal health can be found out. And this is the increasing level of illness where the last point is total disability or death. This is the health sickness spectrum. Same here you can see this is a neutral point there where we find no illness or wellness. As we go further in the direction of wellness, there is awareness, education, growth, and wellness. And here you can see in the path of illness, signs, symptoms, disabilities, and premature death. Now, here you can see the difference between the disease, illness, and sickness. What is disease? Disease is a physiological or psychological dysfunction where you can find the sign and symptoms of a disease. In illness, there is a subjective state of the person who feels aware of not being well. Means there is a subjective feelings. Person खुद feel करेगा कि हाँ मैं अंदर से feel करता है कि हाँ मैं कुछ ठीक नहीं आज अच्छा नहीं लग रहा मुझको. But जो सामने वाला है वो देख नहीं पाता कि हाँ उसको ऐसा फील हो रहा है क्या. Sickness, it is a state of social dysfunction. This is a role that a person assumes when ill. Now these are the different theories of causation of disease. फर्स्ट वन जो सबसे पहले जो थ्योरी आई थी कंसेप्ट ऑफ डिजीज के लिए वो आई थी सुपर नेचुरल कॉजेज. मीन्स जब उस टाइम पे ये माना जाता था कि डिजीज किस वजह से हो रही है कि कोई सुपर नेचुरल पावर है कोई आत्मा है कोई power जिसमें जिसकी वजह से कोई बीमार हो रहा है, ऐसे कर्म किए हैं जिसकी वजह से ये हमें देखने को मिल रही है. फिर उसके बाद में आई थ्योरी ऑफ ह्यूमर्स. ह्यूमर्स मीन स्प्लिट. फिर उसके बाद आई द मियास्मेटिक थ्योरी ऑफ डिजीज, एंड देन थ्योरी ऑफ कंटाजियंस, देन जर्म थ्योरी, एंड दिस थ्योरी इज given by the Louis Pasteur in 1860, and he demonstrated the presence of bacteria in the air, and the Robert Koch showed that anthrax was caused by bacteria. तो ये वो टाइम था जब किसी डिजीज के लिए किसी जर्म को रेस्पॉन्सिबल माना गया, और मेनली सबसे पहले जिसने इसकी खोज करी थी द रॉबर्ट कोच, दैट शोड दैट द एंथ्रेक्स वाज कॉज्ड बाय द बैक्टीरिया. So these discoveries of Pasteur and Koch confirmed the germ theory of the disease. And after that, many microbes were discovered in quick succession, like gonococcus, typhoid bacillus, tuberculosis bacillus, pneumococcus, vibrio cholerae, diphtheria bacilli, and so on. After that, germ theory, epidemiological triad. You can see here, this is the epidemiological triad. There are 3 points: the environment, agent, and host. After that, multifactorial causation, and then last is web of causation. So here you can see the different theories from supernatural to multifactorial causes. अब जो जर्म थ्योरी आई थी उसकी क्या लिमिटेशंस थी कि ऐसा क्यों होता है कि कुछ ही लोग किसी पर्टिकुलर डिजीज के जब एक्सपोजर में आते हैं तो ही बीमार होते हैं, उनको डिजीज होती है, सबको नहीं होती है. जो जो लोग एक्सपोजर हैं उनको सबको वो डिजीज होनी चाहिए, बट ऐसा नहीं होता है. एंड वाई सम पीपल डू नॉट सफर फ्रॉम द डिजीज इवन दो दे हार्बर द पैथोजेंस इन द बॉडी. और कई बार क्या होता है कि पैथोजेंस अपने अंदर होता है, उसके बावजूद भी कोई क्लिनिकल साइन सिम्टम्स नहीं आते, जैसे कि कैरियर स्टेज में होता है. अब epidemiological triad. So the limitations of the germ theory led to the concept of epidemiological or ecological triad. According to this model, disease occurs when the equilibrium between the agent, environment, and host factors disturb. This method explains that some persons do not suffer from the disease even they harbor the pathogens because our equilibrium is there, and it is established between the cause, between the agent, environmental factor, and host factors. Now, what is the natural history of disease? It means that the evolution of a disease process in an individual from its early stage to final stage of recovery or death in the absence of any intervention such as prevention or treatment. And this differs from disease to disease and from person to person. So the natural history of an infectious disease occurs in two phases, mainly the pre-pathogenesis phases and the pathogenesis phases. In pre-pathogenesis phase, it refers to the period before the onset of the disease, and during this phase, interaction taking place among the three components, as I have told in the last picture. It means the agent, host, and environment, and each representing the angle of a triangle. Now, the agent factors. Agent factors may be classified into physical, chemical, biological, mechanical, and nutrition. Now, what are the physical agents? First of all, what is agents? A disease agent is defined as a substance, living or non-living, or a force, tangible or intangible, the excessive presence or relative lack of which initiates the disease process. तो सबसे पहला जो है वो है फिजिकल एजेंट्स. फिजिकल एजेंट्स में क्या आ सकता है? मेनली क्या जो इसमें आता है? हीट, कोल्ड, रेडिएशन, नॉइज, एंड एटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर्स, ह्यूमिडिटी. इन सब की वजह से यदि कोई डिजीज कॉज होती है तो फिजिकल एजेंट्स की वजह, तो जितने भी जो एजेंट्स है ये फिजिकल एजेंट्स. केमिकल एजेंट्स में क्या आएगा, एंडोजिनस या एक्सोजिनस। एंडोजिनस केमिकल्स आर यूरिया, यूरिक एसिड, बिलिरुबिन, कीटोन्स, कैल्शियम्स, इन सब की वजह से भी डिजीज कॉज हो सकती है। जैसे यदि बिलिरुबिन एक्सेसिव है तो जॉन्डिस हो सकता है। और एक्सोजिनस में डस्ट, गैस, फ्यूम्स, मेटल्स, एलर्जेंस, एक्सेट्रा, these also can cause disease. Now the third one is biological. Biological agents are the viruses, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, helminths, arthropods. These are the biological agents. To produce a disease by a biological agent, they must have the feature of infectivity, pathogenicity, and virulence. Infectivity means uh, ability to invade and multiply in the host. And in pathogenicity, it means the ability to produce illness. And virulence means the ability to produce severity and fatality. Now, next is मैकेनिकल। मैकेनिकल एजेंट्स, फ्रिक्शन, फोर्स, इंजरीज, स्क्रैच और एक्सीडेंट, इनकी वजह से जो डिजीज कॉज होती है वो मैकेनिकल एजेंट्स में आता है। और न्यूट्रिशनल एजेंट में मान कि किसी की डेफिशिएंसी, जैसे कि विटामिन ए है, विटामिन ए की डेफिशिएंसी की वजह से या प्रोटीन की वजह से, फैट्स की वजह से, कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स की वजह से, जितने भी न्यूट्रिएंट्स है, न्यूट्रिएंट्स है और मिनरल्स है, इनकी डेफिशिएंसी और एक्सेस की वजह से डिजीज कॉज हो सकती है। नाउ कम टू द host factors. Now these factors in the individuals these are the factors in the individuals which determine the outcome of the interaction among three factors, and these are the age. Certain diseases are peculiar in certain age groups. जैसे एग्जांपल्स ले, जैसे मीजल्स है, चिकन पॉक्स है और डिस्टेरिया है, ये मेनली बच्चों के अंदर होती है। और हाइपरटेंशन है, डायबिटीज मेलाइटस है, ये बड़ों में और एल्डरली पीपल्स में होती है और मिडिल एज पीपल में होती है। सेक्स, कुछ डिजीज होती है जैसे कि कैंसर एंड कोरोनरी हार्ट डिजीज, वो मेनली मैन के अंदर होती है। और जैसे हाइपरथायरॉयडिज्म, डायबिटीज, ओबेसिटी आर कॉमन अमंग इन फीमेल्स। Ethnicity, ankylostomasis is less frequent and sickle cell anemia is more frequent among Negroes, and the thalassemia is common among people of Mediterranean regions. तो कुछ रीजन्स होते हैं जहाँ पे पर्टिकुलरली वो डिजीज प्रेजेंट होती है। नाउ ऑक्यूपेशन से रिलेटेड जो डिजीज है, मेनली जो डिजीज हो सकती है ऑक्यूपेशनल हेल्थ रिजल्ट लाइक न्यूमोकोनियोसिस, Bagosis. These are the diseases which are produced because of the occupations. Now, literacy level, if the literacy level is high, then there is a lower incidence of the disease. Now, income. It is a key factor determining the standard of the living and influencing the development of the disease. Lower socioeconomic status predisposes for infectious disease and higher status for non-communicable disease. So there is a clear demarcation between the infectious disease and non-communicable disease. Mainly infectious disease are present in lower socioeconomic groups, and non-communicable disease like diabetes, obesity, hypertension are present in upper socioeconomic groups. Now, marital status affects a particular disease, like you can say that if cancer is C cervix is common among married women than among unmarried women, and similarly STDs, HIV are common among unmarried women or females. Nutritional status, poor nutritional status makes a person more vulnerable to infectious disease, and the lifestyles like smoking, alcoholism, drug abuse, lack of exercise, multiple sexual partnerships, etc. favor the development of disease. Now the environmental factors. Now environmental factors may be physical, biological, and psychosocial environments. Physical environments includes air, water, soil, food, and in biological environment, plants, animals, insects, rodents, and microbes. Psychosocial factors like exposure to stressful situations such as death or divorce of the patient, of the parents, loss of employment, birth of a handicapped children. They produce feeling of anxiety, tension, anger, depression, frustration. So leading to disease like hypertension, headache, ulcers, bronchial asthma, mental illness. सो कई बार क्या होता है कि बहुत ज़्यादा चिंता करने से, बहुत ज़्यादा सोचने से, डिप्रेशन से भी पेशेंट बहुत अंडर स्ट्रेस चला जाता है और कई बार सुसाइड भी कमिट कर लेता है, सुसाइड कर सकता है, क्राइम्स कर सकता है। ये सब साइकोसोशल फैक्टर्स की वजह से होता है। नाउ हियर यू कैन सी फ्लो चार्ट ऑफ ए वेब ऑफ पोजिशन इन दिस chart, you can see here, there is a change in the lifestyles. What happens if there is a changes in the lifestyles? It's a abundance of food. मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा यदि कोई पर्सन खाना खा रहा है तो उससे क्या होगा, ओबेसिटी डेवलप होगी, ओबेसिटी डेवलप होगी तो उससे हाइपोलिपिडिया में डेवलप होगा और फिर वो किसको प्रेसिपिटेट करेगा, कोरोनरी एथेरोस्क्लेरोसिस को, एंड द कोरोनरी एथेरोस्क्लेरोसिस फर्दर फॉर एमआई. And here you can see there is a abundance of food, but changes in lifestyle like smoking or lack of physical activity. What happens if there is lack of physical activity? Increased catecholamines, thrombotic activities, and then again coronary occlusions and MI will result. And here you can see changes in after stress. What will be there? There is emotional disturbance, aging and uh, emotional disturbance, then hypertension, then it may cause hypertension, and there is what happens when there is a continued long hypertension, changes in the walls of arteries, again it will cause coronary occlusion. So here you can say these are the factors which are related to each other. So from this flow chart, we can say easily that for a disease to produce, there is not a single factor which is responsible. There are multiple factors which are related to each other. And after the effect of each factors, disease will occur. Here, as I have told you, in natural history of disease, can be divided into mainly two phases. This is a period of pre-pathogenesis and it's a period of pathogenesis. What occurs in period of pre-pathogenesis when these agents, host and environmental factors which are interrelated to each other, and if there is equilibrium between these three factors, then person will be healthy. But if the equilibrium disturbs, then there is then the so here it is the pre-pathogenesis phases, and what happens in period of pathogenesis? It is in the human host, interaction of the host reactions, stimulus, early pathogenesis, and here you can see when stimulus tissue and physiological changes occurs, then the clinical signs and symptoms develops, then it causes illness, disability, defect, chronic states, and last death. And if uh, early diagnosis and treatment is given, the patient may recover. So here is the subclinical cases, iceberg phenomenon of disease, and it is a very important topic for your exams. And many times an external may ask about the what is iceberg phenomenon of disease. When a piece of ice is allowed to float on water, a small portion is visible and a major portion is submerged. Here you can see, or in a iceberg, you can when in a sea where iceberg is there, a small portion is visible, but a large portion is invisible. So the visible tip of the ice is compared to clinical cases, and which the physician can see in the community. and the major submerged portion of the ice corresponds to hidden mass of unrecognized disease such as latent cases, inapparent carrier cases, carrier asymptomatic, and undiagnosed cases in the community, which are responsible for the constant prevalence of the disease in the community. Here you can say it is invisible cases, carriers, asymptomatic, latent cases are there, and above the level of water, these are the visible cases. So in some disease like hypertension, diabetes, anemia, malnutrition, mental illness, the unknown morbidity is more than the known morbidity in the community and constitutes an important undiagnosed reservoir of disease in the community. So their detection and control is a challenge to the modern technique of community medicine. Thank you. Uh, so I hope you will be so this session is powered by the digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. And if there is any query, please mention in the comment box. Thank you.